Hey everyone, sorry for waiting. Just waiting for a few people. Just test. Can you hear me? If you can hear me, please give me a hand. That's good. That's good. I can. Yeah. Thank you. Appreciate that. Thank you very much. Okay. Yeah. I think we will get started. Okay. Thank you. Thank you everyone for joining us. So my name is Joey. I'm from the BYD Battery-Box team, and really appreciate that you guys join us. And I think for today's BYD Battery-Box webinars, and basically we'll cover a few points. So firstly, I think some of you already know the Battery-Box, but some of you probably may not, and probably just the first time heard about the BYD Battery-Box. So for those, so prepare a couple of slides to give you a short introduction. Hi guys, can you hear me now? Okay, yeah, really apologize that we just a bit of the technical issue. Sorry guys, so just let me share my screen now. Okay, just so sorry guys. And just to continue, so for today's webinars, I basically cover the 5 parts. And just to let you know, for those who join us later, so we also have the whole team online as well, and I'll spend about 30 minutes to present the slides. And after this, we have the product live demonstrations. Our colleague Delian will give you a short demo product live. And but during the whole presentation, if you guys have already used the Battery-Box, you have some feedback, please let us know. And any questions you have, please put in the chatting rooms or chatting box. And we have our technical team here as well, our colleague Faith, Leo, Amy. So they all are online as well to answer all your questions. So we had a big whole team together here to serve you. So really appreciate if you have any questions or feedback regarding the Battery-Box. We are also always aiming to provide a good solution and the product to the market and to you. Okay, so first part is about the Battery-Box and BYD, and then secondly, why choose the Battery-Box, and the thirdly is product series, including the installations, commissioning, and the troubleshootings. So the BYD Battery-Box and have been in Australian market for more than 6 years. And the brand is the BYD. So the BYD is, that means build your dreams and also bring you dollars. And who is BYD and what BYD is doing? So in the left-hand side, you can see BYD has 4 major business. So the first one is the auto business. So we are the number 1 electric passenger vehicles in China, and also we are expanding to the global market, and also we supply the pure electric buses and taxi to the global market. And the second one is the electronics. Basically, there's lots of cell phone brands that use the BYD smart battery. So basically, probably you haven't used the BYD brand product, but cell phone, there's a BYD battery inside. And the third one is the new energy. And this is where our team is focusing. So from BYD perspective, we manufacture the PV panels. Probably you heard about the BYD panels. It's also in the Tier 1 list. And also BYD have the energy storage systems from the residential small scale to the commercial and to the big containerized storage systems. So the whole portfolio scenario. And the last one is the rail transit. Yeah, so we just got the latest financial report. So in the first quarter to third quarter, the first 3 quarters last year, 2020, BYD is still very strong, have the increase about 12%. So the first 3 quarters, we got a $15.8 billion US. So the picture you see here, I put up here is a very exciting and a very new reception buildings, middle of last year. And hopefully sometime this year or next year, you can visit the BYD headquarters. So really welcome you guys, all of you come to the BYD headquarters. I will show you the BYD headquarters and give a test drive. And also we show you the battery facility. So it's very, very exciting for us this year. And on top of that, BYD also set up the BYD Cares since the last year with the COVID-19. So I think back in February and March, with the COVID came out. So BYD as one of the largest companies in China, so we took the social responsibility to manufacture the face mask. And we are very fortunate and lucky to say, so at the moment, we're the number 1 largest face mask manufacturer. And every day, per day, we can produce maximum 100 million pieces of the face mask. So now we still supply and manufacture the face masks to the global market to provide the people from the COVID-19. So we hope everyone will be safe, and we hope everyone enjoy your lives and with our technologies. Okay, so about the battery box. So this is our current portfolio, the battery box premium lineup, and this is what we are selling to the market at the moment. So as you can see, in terms of the product portfolio, we got the high voltage range and also the low voltage range. So for high voltage, we got 2 models offering, HVM and HVS. And also we have the low voltage range, it's about 48 volts. We have the LVS and LVL. So high voltage, that's short for HV, and the low voltage short for LV, and L means large, and M means medium, and S means small. So basically, some customer maybe get confused why we all offer lots of the models, because firstly, we have 2 platforms, low voltage and high voltage, because initially in the market, there is only 48 volt inverters in the market. So we developed the 48 volt battery to be compatible with that. And after a few times, the inverter manufacturer, they developed the high voltage inverter. Maybe as you know that with the same amount of the power, if they got a higher voltage, the current is slow, which means the cost is relatively cheaper. So after they developed high voltage inverters, we developed a high voltage battery. So it doesn't conflict with each other. And also in terms of the high voltage, we got two models, and two models actually doesn't conflict with each other because S has smaller offering. It's very good for the entry level, and then I means medium. So that's very suitable for the bigger house or the customer that are after the bigger capacity. So basically, the whole portfolio offer you very flexibility, and we will design your solution to your customers, give you a lot of choice. I'll spend more time in the later stage to give you the product introduction more detail and just give you overview, quick overview. Just I'll see more people coming in and just let you know that if you guys have any questions or any feedback, please let us know. So we got our whole team sitting behind, next to me. So they are waiting for your questions and they'll answer the questions very quickly. Yeah, any feedback you have, yeah, please let us know. Appreciate that. The battery box has been actually on the market for more than 6 years, and now we are selling in European market, Australian market, American, also African market. We just got the latest report, as I can't find any Australian report, but this is in Europe, just give you a reference. So BYD Battery-Box on the market, as you can see, in first half of 2020 in German and European market. So maybe you know that Germany is, in terms of the battery storage systems, residential battery storage, Germany is the biggest market in worldwide. Yeah, so you can see the BYD Battery-Box. The first half is the second place in the market, and also in Europe is second place in the market. And this is quite exciting for us that we want to share with you. So EUPD is a very influential third party. So yeah, I'll be a little bit slow. Sorry about that. So this is the report from the EUPD, and we are very honored to see they have done this battery research to the customers, and you can see here. So BYD is the most well-known battery storage manufacturer among the owners of the battery system installed in 2020. So this is a very exciting one for us. Okay, so this is about why choose the BYD Battery-Box. So basically, we have 3 and 4 design concept. And the first one is the high safety as the priority. I think also when you guys choose the batteries, safety is one of the key reasons and the priority. So for BYD Battery-Box, we are using the lithium iron phosphate, and also because the reason in the right-hand side picture, you can see this is the temperature range of decomposition, which means catch fire. So basically, there are 5 or 6 major chemistry in the market, like NCM or NCA. And the green one is the LFP, which is the lithium iron phosphate. So lithium iron phosphate has the highest temperature range of decompositions. It's about 480 to 600 degree. So for that reason, that the lithium iron phosphate is the safest chemistry for the battery. And that's the reason why we use this one for the cell and the battery. And not only for the cell level, but also from the systems level, we have for all the Battery-Box series that has been certified with all the major standards globally and locally. So it's already certified with the CE and VD 2510-50. So VD 2510-50 is the most advanced battery safety standards in the European market. And BYD is one of the first to satisfy with the VDE standards. And also IEC and UL. In Australian market, our product is also satisfied with the 5139. And the second point is the high reliabilities. So I think when you choose the battery in on-grid or off-grid, the reliability is also another key point. And the battery box actually has been, as I mentioned, selling in the global market for more than 6 years and installed in over 56 countries. And installation is more than 80,000 systems. So this number we want to show you here is, I want to let you know that this product is a quite reliable product and also been tested on the market for all these numbers. So all these numbers we want to show you, the BYD Battery-Box is a very, very reliable and a trustful product for you to choose and when you offer to your customers. And the third one is the high flexibility. So as you know, the battery box, the major benefit and features is the modular design. That's give you a lot of flexibilities. So it has a wide range from 4 kWh battery with the small unit LVS. And with the LVL, you can extend almost 1 MWh. So very wide range of applications, a very wide solution. And the second one is the extension at any time. So basically, during the 10 years warranty, so we can support the extension at any time. And basically, if your customer have the demand to have bigger energy when they grow their families, so you can have another one or two modules on top of the existing systems, and the process of the extension is quite easy. And the third one is the flexible in the location. So the battery box HVS, HVM, and LVS is IP55. So that means it's waterproof and dustproof, and that you can install outside. But always make sure when you install the batteries, you never put the battery in the direct sunlight. So you need to have a shed or the cover on top of the batteries. Yeah. So always make sure that you never put the battery in the direct sunlight. And the temperature range, this is the ambient working temperature. It's from -10 to 50 degrees. So as you know, the temperature is one of the key factors to affect the battery life. So this is the BYD Battery-Box temperature range from -10 to 50, but we always recommend, for some commercial projects that you have the good temperature with the AC. And the third one is the last one is the high usabilities. So BYD side, we only supply the batteries, but we have the wide range of the inverters for you to choose. As you can see here, we have the lots of the premium and mainstream brands of the inverter here, like Furnace, Goodway, Sangro, SMA, Selectronic, Victron, and Solis. So all these inverters with the different packages can have different functionalities. It's quite a functional package for you. And also with all those inverters from the battery as well, we can support a very wide range of applications, either the on-grid self-consumption or on-grid with the backup, or also off-grid. So BYD battery is one of the few options can support the off-grid applications with the big surge current. Yeah. And single phase, 3-phase, obviously. Another side is that the high usability is that we have lots of handy tools for you. Firstly, we have the installer app. It's called the B-Connect, which is available on the Google Play or Apple Store. So this installer app is basically for installer to configure and commission the systems. And also we have the latest functionality in the app. You can also read the battery systems information. And in the future, we're going to have the new version of the app, and we will have more functionalities. So this app is basically for you to configure the battery and also to diagnose and to collect the information of the batteries. So we highly recommend before you install the battery, before you go to the site, you download the app previously. And not only the phone version, but also we have the PC version of the app. So it's called the B-Connect Plus. And this one has more functions, and you can use the BCP to do the diagnosis of the systems, history, information reading, and firmware update. So you can download this one on our website and also our service AppsPower website. Another thing I want to mention is the BYD Battery-Box also have a very unique feature. So basically, the homeowner, they can monitor the whole systems through the inverter portal. And also you can also control the systems from the inverter portal. But we got a very unique feature is that the battery itself, you can also connect the battery with the internet separately. And this is highly recommended because if you connect the battery with the internet, and if there's any issue with the batteries or firmware update, we can diagnose the systems remotely and also do the firmware update very quickly and remotely. So the internet connection from the battery side is highly recommended. But this is not related with the warranties. It's not strictly required. But if you connect this one with the internet, your customer and you will have more convenience. Yeah, so highly recommend when you install the BYD batteries, we got this function ready. And if it's convenient, so please connect the battery with the internet. And you will have more benefit. Okay, so this is the product series. So I also have a few slides to give you the introduction, and after this, my colleague, I'll switch my camera, and we have the live demonstrations. Yeah. Very, very good. So firstly, you'll start from the HVS and HVM. Yeah, I think I've seen more people joining us. So if you have questions, feel free to put in the chatting box, and our teams will answer you very quickly. So it's teamwork. Yeah, let's get started. Very exciting ones, HVS and HVM. So this is the two models we are offering. And the HVS, HVM, you can see the major difference is the capacity of the modules. From the physical size and the top cover, black cover is basically the same. The only difference is the capacity. And for HVS, so each module is 2.56 kWh battery. And because for the high voltage, each module is connected in series, so we have got the minimum capacity to match the inverter, and we have the minimum module required. So for HVS, minimum one is the 2 modules, and the capacity is 5.1 kWh. So this is very suitable for the smaller, the entry level. If the customer just want to test the batteries or they're not sure, so they will just want to have the battery at home. You can offer HVS 5.1, and in the later stage, you can extend. So HVS from 2 modules to 3, 4, 5 modules. And then we can also support the parallel connections, which give you the bigger capacity. And for HVM, each module, the capacity is a little bit bigger. HVS, that's 2.56, and HVM is 2.76 kilowatt hours. So from 3 modules minimum, you can get 8.3 kilowatt hours battery from HVM. And also you can have 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 modules. It's quite interesting. We developed the 8 modules. So 8 modules, that's basically about 2 meters high. And when we design these parameters, we think probably it's not gonna happen in the market, but it's quite interesting that we also see there are a few installations with the 8 modules. So they have the 2 meters battery, installed in their homes. And it's quite phenomenal. Yeah, it's pretty good. Yeah, so basically, if the customer they are after the more capacity, you can provide the HVM, and then maximum single tower you can get 22 kilowatt hours battery, and also you can have 3 towers in parallel. So for both HVS and HVM, you can have up to 3 towers in parallel. And the compatible inverters here, as you can see, HVS, so the major parameters here, usable energy is from 5.1 to 12.8. So the usable energy, maybe you are a little bit confused. Some other manufacturers, they have the nominal energy and the usable energy, but from BYD side, we only show the usable energy, because I think we think this makes sense to the customers. So this basically shows how much capacity the customers can use out of the batteries. So from 5.1 to 12.8, and then output power from 5.1 to 10, operating range is 200 volt to 500 volt. And the dimension is quite slim battery, actually. It's very suitable in your car park. Yeah. And scalability, you can have up to 3 maximum in parallel. And HVM is similar, so 8.3 to 22, output power from 6.1 to 16, and dimension the same. Scalability is 3 towers. And here the compatible inverters with the high voltage range. Firstly is the Furnace Simul Hybrid, and also their new Gen 24 Simul and the Primal. And then second one is the Sungrow High Voltage RT. I think it's also available in the market. So this is also compatible with the BYD high voltage range battery. And the third one is the SMA Sunny Box Storage 5.0 and 2.5. But 2.5 is only compatible with the HVS model. And also the Goodway ET and EH. So you got 4 options matched with the high voltage range battery. But our teams, we also still developing more options for you. And at this stage, we're going to release the Inga team and Solis high voltage inverters to be compatible with the HVS and HVM. And the major components for those who may be not familiar with the product. So the modular design gives you a lot of easy installations and flexibilities. And the major components is actually pretty simple. So there are 2 components. First one, you get a single box with the battery module, and you can select how many modules you need with for the different capacity. And the second box that comes with we call the BCU and the base. So BCU is the battery control unit that talks to the inverter. It's like the brain for the battery to control the battery. So Yeah, pretty simple components and no cable connection in between from the battery side. And another thing we like to mention, because of the modular design, there's lots of the combinations in terms of the battery and also with different inverters. So it's very important for you to select the right model, the right combo for which battery model with which inverter model. So to select the right models, because for some technical reasons, some model is not compatible with some inverters. So it's very important that you guys check our inverter list. It's called the minimum configuration list. And this is available in our Battery-Box website and also Power website. So you basically can find all the information there. And also, so there are different inverters listed for different models and also with different applications. And here you can also see we have some very important notes. It's very good for you to check. And some very important notes like, 3 HVM, this is the right one, 3 HVM 22 is not supported with the Simon Hybrid and Simon Gen 24 Plus. So there are some useful information for you to have a look in the minimum configuration. And also, we got a minimum firmware version, BMS, the BMU, latest version, and the firmware inverter firmware version as well. So highly recommend you guys check the minimum configuration list. If you install the wrong combos, the systems won't work properly. And then unfortunately, it's not going to cover by the warranty. Okay, so this is about the installation tips. So first, the tips is that for each high voltage range, single tower, because I just mentioned that we got a minimum configuration list and minimum numbers of the modules. So for HV I've listed here these numbers for single tower from 2 to 5. You can't have one module, and you can't have 6 or 7. And here also see here is for the HVM. So HVM, that's from 3 modules to 8 modules. So you can't have 2 modules or 9 modules. And for parallel connection, as I mentioned that for both HVS and HVM, we can support 3 towers in parallel. But when you parallel the battery systems, please make sure for each tower, you have to have the same amount of the modules to get the same voltage. So you have to make sure each tower has the same voltage. In that case, the whole systems can work. But if you don't have the same, if you like here, you can see 3 modules, and then the L, M, and N, that's number of the modules, it has to be the same. Otherwise, for either L or M or N is not the same, this whole systems won't work. I think this quite makes sense. And also, here you can see, so we got a HVS and HVM. How to tell the difference of the HVS and HVM? Our colleague will show you in the demo lives. But on the outside of the batteries, we have the single line mark here shows HVS. And then double line mark, that's That's the HVM. So when you parallel multiple towers, you always make sure you don't combine different versions of the high voltage together. If you have HVS, and then if you have HVM, two types of the version together, and the whole systems doesn't work. So the same with this one. You can see single line mark HVS and then HVM, HVS. Sorry, this doesn't work. So never mix HVS and HVM. Okay, so this is the tip 2. Download the latest version of the BConnect app. The BConnect is necessary for you to install the battery, and it's available in the Google Store app and Google Play or Apple Store. Here you see, so always check the latest version of the BConnect app monthly to get the latest functionality and the latest firmware. Because from our side, we will update the version of the BConnect every month, and it's very highly recommend you check this app monthly to get the latest version. And the third one is the system switch on procedures. So this is the whole system slide now. Look how the system looks like. So you got a multiple towers if you like, and then you got inverters set up here, and also if you also get a circuit breaker. So from the battery side, we get a circuit breaker integrated. But if you still have the main circuit breaker here, when you turn on the whole systems, firstly turn on the circuit breaker, and secondly turn on the battery, and the third one, the last one, to turn on the inverter. So always turn on the battery first, and then turn on the inverter second. And this is the switch off procedures. So it's basically the opposite side, of the turn on procedures. So when you turn on the battery and then turn on the inverter, but when you switch off the whole systems, firstly turn off the inverter, and then secondly turn off the battery press the button for 5 seconds, and third one, if you got a circuit breaker, you need to turn off. Turn off the circuit breaker. Okay, so the next one is the HVM module adding requirement. So just to give you a reference, if you want to extend the battery, it's quite easy and very, very straightforward. Basically, when we ship the battery from the factory, each module has 30%, roughly 30% of the SOC, and when you put the more modules on the existing one, just make sure the existing battery module that has the similar 30% of the SOC, and then to put the modules physically, put the new modules physically, and just use the BConnect to reconfigure the whole systems, and that's it. So really, really looking straightforward. And troubleshootings for today's, I just basically give you a reference, and in the future webinars, I will spend more time to give you the for each case. But just let you know that we have the service guideline and checklist, and this is available on the both two websites. And this is quite useful for you if you have any issues with the batteries. In these documentations, we have listed all the issues we have faced, and what's the measures we need to take, and what's the solutions we have. And you can find everything and you need in these service guidelines. And we have the local service partner, but highly recommend before you contact our service, you collect all the information listed in these documentations, and give us the information of your systems, so we can solve your problems very quickly. And yeah, so download this checking list and guidelines, and also contact our service so we can resolve your issues as quickly as possible. Okay, so the second one is the LVS. And LVL. So LVL is very suitable for bigger house or small projects. So as you can see, it's not really like the modular design, and this one is IP20. So you have to install inside in a container or in the buildings. So a single unit is 15.4 kilowatt hours battery. And the advantage of this, you can see, you can have up to 64 in parallel. So if you calculate 64 times 15.4, that's almost 1 megawatt hours. So basically from 15.4 kilowatt hours battery and up to 1 megawatt hours, you can use the LVL. And also to save your space, you can have two systems on top of each other. And then, yeah, it's pretty space-saving product. And then the next one is LVS. So LVS has the similar design as the high voltage range, HVM or HVS, but the difference is that the low voltage range, each module is 48 volt. So you don't need the minimum numbers required. And basically you can start from one module. So one module is 4.0, and it can scalable up to 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 modules for single tower. And then you can have multiple towers in parallel to get bigger systems. And the compatible inverters with the low voltage you can see here. So for ALVL 15.4, you got SMA, Sunny Island, Victron, Selectronic, Goodway, and Studer. And the right-hand side is for the LVS 4.0 to 24. So you get SMA, Victron, Solis, Goodway, Sangro, and Studer. And next one for LV range is the Schneider. So we have been testing Schneider for quite a long time, but there's still minor errors with this whole system. So we want to make sure the whole system's working properly. So we're preparing the final stage of the Schneider, and then we'll release the compatibility pretty soon. So sorry guys for your waitings, but well, and that's pretty appreciate you understand the situations. But if you have any urgent jobs for the Schneiders, you can contact us or our service. We'll give you the solution of that. So the components of the LVS, this is for the LVS. Basically, there are three components. So first one, the same with the high voltage, one single box with the battery LVS module. You select how many modules you need. And the second box that comes with the LVS PDU and the base. And then the third, we got a small box that's for the BMU. So because the LVS is IP55 versions, so the BMU is IP55. And then for LVL, there are two components. Firstly is the battery systems that comes with one wooden box. And then the other small one you required is the BMU. So because we launched the LVL firstly and launched the LVS secondly, so we offer IP20 BMU to go with the LVL, and after LVS launched, we developed IP55 versions, and from our side, our stock, we already transfer all the version to LVS BMU, that's IP55 BMU. But just in case, if you still have IP20 BMU, make sure you use the IP20 with the LVL, and then use the IP55 with the LVS, because the LVS is IP55, and if you install outside, you have to go with the IP55 BMU. And then minimum configuration inverter list, the same with the high voltage. Highly recommend you guys check the minimum configuration list. So we are updating from time to time, and also if we got new inverters compatible, we update the list. So you got all the latest version, and checking, you select the right combos and enjoy the warranty. Some installation tips for the low voltage LVS. So basically, as I mentioned, LVS, you can have single tower, it's like the logo, right? And then you can have different multiple towers. So for single tower, you can start from one module, and then you can scalable up to 6 modules, and you can't have 7 modules for single tower. And then another thing you need to be careful is that if you parallel multiple towers for the LVS, in this scenario, for each tower, you can't have more than 4 modules. So each tower maximum you have 4 modules, because there are some software control, and so we limit with the parallel scenarios, each tower is 4 modules. And yeah, so each tower you see up to 4 modules, and then you can parallel up to 64 modules. So if you got 5 for each tower, when multiple parallel, is not supported. And also download the app before you go to the site. And thirdly, to download the quick start guidelines, correct cabling. So this is basically for LVL, because for the other LVS or HVM, there's not no cable connection in between, just the cable from the battery to the inverter. And this is for LVL, and is more for some projects. So basically, firstly, communication to inverters, that firstly depends on the choice of the inverter cable between BMU and the port, and the inverter must be special made. Please check the specification in the installation manual. And then the communication cable is recommended Cat 5 or higher. And the grounding cable also is required, and Ethernet cable for internet is strongly recommended. And for LVS switch on procedures, so it's pretty much the same with the high voltage. Firstly, if you got a circuit breaker in between, turn on the circuit breaker, and secondly, turn on the battery, press the button for 3 seconds, and the third one is the inverter. And switch off is basically the opposite of that one. And switch on procedures of LVL, as you can see, firstly, pretty much the same. Firstly, turn on the circuit breaker, and secondly, on the battery, and then, so inverter. So troubleshooting is the same with the high voltage. We also have the low voltage service guideline and the checking list. And this is also available on the website. Make sure you download these guidelines, and you can find all the handy, the solutions and the steps when you commission the systems. So commission and the firmware update, basically using the BConnect app. And also, you can also download the PC version BitConnect Plus. And it's very simple to do the firmware update and configurations, just a few steps. Inverter model and the battery model, on-grid, off-grid, and then ready to go. Pretty easy. And support. So we have, we are trying to. This is one of our major, very important for us that we have the local service. So I think you're pretty familiar with. We got a local service called Apps Power. For any technical questions, service questions, you can contact Apps Power. But yeah, if you'd like to contact us for any questions, feel free to contact us. And so we are a team here to support you. With a BYD, we got an official website, and also you can download all the information like data sheet, installation manual, or image, or whatever information you are after the BYD Battery-Box. Yeah, go to this website and in the download section. Yeah, it's over there. And the social media, we got a Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, and YouTube channel. So every week we publish the post regarding if the product release or the installation, case studies, some webinars. Yeah, so appreciate you follow us, and we are waiting for you. Okay, I think I'm running a little bit late from my side, and then next I'll switch my camera, and then my colleague Dalian will give you the live demonstrations. Just give me a second. Yep, you can see that, right?
Hello, everybody. It's Dalian from BYD. First, thanks, Joey, for your introduction. And at my part, I'm going to give you a live product demonstration. As you can see right behind me, it's the whole premium family divided into two parts, the HV series and the LV series. I'll start with high voltage family. First is the two products, the HVS and HVM, small and medium. First, the difference between those two products is it's both modular designing, and if you want to tell the difference, first is the stripe on the module. For HVS, you can see there is one stripe, and for HVL, for the module, they have two stripes. They both share the same BCU. That's the difference if you want to tell. And next, I'm going to show you the basic steps from you receive the products and doing the installation to the commissioning. What's the tips you're going to be aware of? Just one moment. So that's the box you're going to receive for the first time. There are two boxes mostly. The first one is for the battery. The second one is on the bottom is for the BCU. For the exterior level, the difference between the battery module and the BCU is at the battery box, you can see there is a mark. That's what's required for the customs. For this one has this mark. Inside the box was the battery module. And without this mark inside the box was the BCU. And also when you open the box, you can find two very important documents. This one here is the service guideline checklist. You will find some installation tips and some you might need to be noticed during the installation. So I highly recommend before the installation, please read this book very carefully. And then another document was our minimum configuration list. As Joey mentioned, this included some firmware version and also some information you need to check. If you do not follow these documents, your product or your systems might be out of our warranty. So I highly recommend you to read these documents very carefully. So I'm going to remove this box also. Just one moment. And after you receive the box and you unpack the whole package, it comes to the electric cabling work. For the product designing for the module connecting, there are not too much cabling. The only cabling place you are going to connect the cables is on the BCU level. First, let me show you the front face of the BCU. So there are 5 grommets or gaskets on the BCU. If you want to connect the cables, you have to remove the side cover of the BCU. For this with gasket and grommet is insulated, so the whole operating process would be very safe. And let's remove the side cover and go deep inside into the BCU to show you how to connect the cable specifically. Okay. So guys, as you can see here, okay, that's perfect. As you can see here inside the BCU, first it's the clicker. Once you remove the side cover, the clicker will be mechanically switched off, which means the whole internal circuit will be off, which guarantees our operator or installer safety. It's kind of a safety measure designing. And also it comes to here, it's the power cable connecting. There are 2 spots to connect the positive and the negative. In the middle, this one doesn't work, so you don't have to worry in the middle one. And it comes also here is one spot, the Ethernet. We highly recommend you to connect the internet for the whole system because it's really useful for the firmware updating and some after sales work. Also for here is communication, the whole communication spot. On the top 2 here is the for CAN and RS 485, and also for the below 2 it's for the parallel connection. Also for communication between the batteries. The top 2 is for the communication between batteries and the inverters. Also we have offered a second option for the communications. And this one here is also, I want to suggest you guys to have patience to pay attention to here, because in most cases you won't have to switch the terminal resistance here. It's just for some certain inverters like Coastal, you have to switch the middle the terminal resistance to the right, but in most cases you don't have to do anything. The other thing is we're also compatible with more inverters, so there may be some exceptions in the future. Please stay close with our operating manuals and guidelines. We will give you some information tips here. So let's go back to the product also. Joy, can you switch the camera? Thank you. Okay, that's pretty much for the high voltage family. The other thing I want to remind you is for high voltage, also for the whole product, also we have put a LED status here. You can read the battery status through this LED light. It's charged or discharged, or there's something wrong with the battery. You can read the different color from the LED status. Then it goes to the low voltage family. First is LVS, then it's LVL, means small and large. It's the LVS first. It comes more specifically for the cable connecting. That's the one important thing. For cable connecting for LVS, you don't have to remove the side plate for the BCU. You just use this cable and doing the plugging and play. That's it. We optimize the design here. Just plug the cable and that's it. And also it can be removed. Just touch the here. So for this cable here, we have offered 3 different dimensions for the connectors. Once you the one you received from your package is the 70. The dimension was 70, and also we have other 2 options. If you prefer the other dimensions, you can purchase this from our local distributors. It's available now. And for LVS and LVL, the other thing is they share the same BMU here. It's both LVS and LVL, and we also have the other version, IP55. No matter for parallel connection, no matter how many towers here, only one BMU is needed. So that's very important for you to notice that. And that's also the whole information for the live product demonstration. Now I'll transfer my part to Joey, and thank you guys.
Thank you, Julian, for the very nice introduction. So that's pretty much for the live demonstrations. So I just switch back my presentations. Thank you, Julian, for the very nice introduction. And that's pretty much for today. Really appreciate that. Thank you very much for your joinings. So I also prepare a questionnaire, and just really appreciate that if you guys can give us some ideas or some guideline stuff for these 3 questions. So it's very useful for us to improve in the future. It basically are just 3 questions that we want to learn from you, and for our monthly webinars next month, so we can prepare for that. Really appreciate that if you guys give us some thank you very much for that. Really appreciate it. So that's everything about today, and now we can have a Q&A session. So if you guys have any questions, you can put in the chatting rooms, and I think also our team is answering the questions online as well. And I may pick up some of the questions that I'll answer. Just give me a second. I'm just checking that one. I think there's lots of questions already answered. That's good. I have lots of results from your feedback. Thank you very much for that. Really appreciate it. If you guys still have any questions, let us know. And so for next, we are going to have, just let you know, we're going to have the monthly webinars, and next webinar is going to be the similar timing and the date. I will also make a little bit adjustment based on your feedback, but it's going to be the next month, and we'll prepare different topics and based on your feedback. So we'll keep you posted, keep you updated, and you can also follow our social media to get the latest one. Okay, so Oh yeah, so for today's webinar, that we draw us a question that is there CBD points for these webinars. Yeah, so for today's webinars, that if you need required CBD points, please let us know, and we prepare the certificate for you, and you can apply with the certificate for the CBD points. Yeah. And for Kieran has a question that for the LVL, can you please show us how the wiring works between the top and the bottom unit when stacked? Yeah, I think our Face is answering that questions already. And after the presentation, so this also recorded. We'll share with you the slides and also the recording. Thank you very much for everyone joining us. I really appreciate that. Have a very nice evening and enjoy the week. I'll see you next time. Thank you.